Welcome to Audioverse Listening Library, where every word awakens the power within. Today, we unlock one of the most practical and life-changing truths in the entire philosophy of success, the secret of organized planning. Chapter 6, Organized Planning. Success rarely happens by accident. It emerges from a clear intention supported by intelligent plans, consistent action, and cooperation with capable people. In this chapter, Hill explains that a burning desire is the spark, but organized planning is the engine that moves that desire into tangible results. A dream without structure remains only a wish. A dream backed by strategy turns into a blueprint for achievement. The first major idea is that no individual succeeds alone. Hill emphasizes the creation of what he calls a mastermind group, a team of people whose knowledge, abilities, and strengths complement your own. This is not about surrounding yourself with random friends or passive supporters. It's about forming a conscious alliance with individuals who bring specific skills you need to transform your vision into reality. Their combined intelligence produces results far beyond what any one person could achieve. Next, Hill highlights the importance of being decisive and practical. Many people fail not because their dreams are too big, but because they never translate those dreams into an actionable plan. Wanting something intensely is not enough. You must break the desire into steps, assign responsibilities, set timelines, and continually revise your approach. Plans are not sacred. They must evolve as conditions change. Success comes to the person who evaluates, adapts, and persists, even when early attempts fall short. Another key principle is the value of specialized knowledge. Hill repeats that general information, no matter how broad, cannot replace focused expertise. If you don't possess the knowledge needed for your goal, you must acquire it, either by learning it yourself or by teaming up with someone who already has it. Smart leaders are not threatened by experts. They seek them out, collaborate with them, and use their strengths to build something larger than any one individual could create. Hill then turns to the topic of leadership. He explains the traits that differentiate effective leaders from those who merely hold a title. True leadership is defined by courage, self-control, decision-making, fairness, and unwavering purpose. Leaders motivate others through confidence, vision, and a commitment to the success of the entire group. On the other hand, people fail as leaders when they show arrogance, indecision, poor organization, or unwillingness to listen. Leadership is not about authority. It's about responsibility and service. A crucial part of organized sell yourself and your ideas. Hill points out that every successful person is, in some way, an exceptional salesperson, not necessarily of products, but of their own value, their vision, and their contribution to a cause. To gain cooperation and support, you must present yourself with clarity, confidence, and sincerity. Opportunities are drawn to people who know what they want and communicate it with conviction. Hill also addresses the importance of persistence and resilience. Many people abandon their plans at the first sign of resistance, believing that obstacles are a signal to stop. In reality, obstacles are simply part of the process. They provide feedback, highlight weaknesses in the plan, and show where adjustments must be made. A successful strategy is rarely perfect from the start. It becomes effective through testing, correction, and unwavering dedication. Another key point is the relationship between planning and fear. People often hesitate to act because they're afraid of failure, judgment, or imperfection. Hill reminds us that inaction is the worst form of failure. Action, even imperfect action, creates momentum and teaches lessons that thought alone can never give. Plans gain power only when they're put into motion. Finally, Hill explains that success demands continuous improvement. A plan must be reviewed, reshaped, and refined, and strengthened as conditions evolve. Opportunities change, people change, markets change, and your strategy must stay alive. The individual who remains flexible, adaptive, and committed will always outperform the one who clings rigidly to outdated ideas. In essence, Chapter 6 teaches that organized planning is the bridge between desire and achievement. It is the disciplined process of turning imagination into action, dreams into strategy, and intention into measurable progress. With the right allies, the right knowledge, and an unwavering commitment to improvement, any goal, no matter how ambitious, becomes achievable. 1. The big insight. Desire needs structure, just like energy needs direction. A powerful desire is raw energy, but without a plan, it's like electricity with no circuit. It has force, but no outlet. Hill teaches that organized planning is the pathway that allows desire to transform into concrete action. Modern psychology supports this. The brain responds strongly to specific goals and defined steps. Vague intentions keep you stuck in imagination. Structured plans activate the brain's goal-directed circuitry, especially the prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and execution. In short, imagination creates clarity. Planning creates momentum. Number 2. Mastermind group equals your human supercomputer. Hill's concept of the mastermind is more relevant today than ever. He understood that a group of aligned individuals generates more intelligence than the sum of its members. Modern science confirms this through collective intelligence theory, networked thinking, distributed cognition. When capable minds combine their knowledge, the group becomes a thinking organism. Your success is multiplied because you're drawing on shared expertise, shared creativity, shared accountability. Insight. Success is rarely a solo performance. It's an orchestra. Number 3. Specialized knowledge beats general knowledge every time. General knowledge is broad but shallow. Specialized knowledge is narrow but powerful. Hill shows that plans fail when people try to figure everything out alone. In today's world, specialists dominate. A top video editor, a branding expert, a niche marketer, a legal strategist, a financial planner. Each one brings depth that you cannot replace with general reading. Insight. You don't need to know everything. You need to know or collaborate with the right people. Number 4. Leadership is earned, not declared. Leadership is not something a person automatically gains because they have a title, money, or authority. True leadership is something people grant you through their trust, respect, and willingness to follow your direction. It comes from inner qualities, not outer labels. Many people believe that if they become the boss, if they have a degree, or if they inherit a certain role, leadership will come automatically. But real life works differently. People do not follow a title, they follow a person. A real leader earns influence through personal behavior, not by demanding obedience. The core idea: a leader is someone others choose to follow, even when they don't have to. That choice is earned through qualities such as courage, fairness, clarity, consistency, and emotional maturity. Leadership is a relationship, not an announcement. To understand this in deeper way, let's divide this section into subsections. Subsection number 1. Leadership begins with inner strength. A leader must first lead themselves. Self-control, patience, discipline, and the ability to manage emotions are the foundation. If a person cannot control their reactions, cannot stay calm in stress, or cannot keep their commitments, others won't trust them to lead. People follow stability, not chaos. They follow clarity, not confusion. Subsection number 2. Leaders make decisions, even when it's hard. Indecision weakens trust. A leader earns respect by being willing to choose a direction, accept responsibility, and move forward. They do not hide behind excuses. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not blame others when plans fail. They think, they choose, and they act. This courage to decide is one of the rarest qualities, and that's why it's so respected. Subsection number 3. True leaders inspire. They don't force. You cannot make people follow you through fear, pressure, or authority. You can make them obey temporarily, but you cannot earn genuine support. A real leader inspires cooperation by showing integrity, listening, motivating, demonstrating competence, leading by example. People follow them because they want to, not because they're scared not to. This is why a leader's character matters more than their job title. Next is no. 4. Leadership means serving the mission, not the ego. A real leader is not obsessed with being right, being admired, or being in control. Their priority is the mission, the goal, the purpose. When a leader's ego becomes more important than the team, failure begins. A true leader protects the team, takes blame when things go wrong, gives credit when things go right, focuses on results, not recognition. This humility earns deep respect. Number 5. Leadership is about people, not power. A leader understands people, their motivations, fears, strengths, weaknesses, and potential. They don't treat people like tools or numbers. They treat them like human beings with value. This emotional intelligence makes people feel seen, supported, and motivated. People don't follow a leader because of authority. They follow because that leader elevates them. Number 6. Leadership is proven in difficult moments. Anyone can appear strong when everything is going well. But true leadership is revealed during uncertainty, pressure, conflict, setbacks, failure. A true leader stands calm and composed. They think clearly, communicate honestly, and guide others through stormy moments. This is where followers say, "Yes, I trust this person. I will follow them through anything." This trust cannot be bought. It can only be earned. Number 7. Leadership requires constant learning. A leader doesn't assume they know everything. They study, listen, observe, and adapt. They are students first, leaders second. This openness prevents arrogance and creates a flexible, growth-focused team environment. People respect leaders who are both wise and willing to learn. Deep insight summary. Leadership isn't a position. It's a responsibility. You earn it through character, competence, courage, consistency, compassion, clear thinking, continuous learning. A declared leader may be ignored, but an earned leader is followed enthusiastically, voluntarily, and loyally. This is the kind of leader Hill is teaching you to become. Failure of a plan is not failure of you. Most people take failure personally. They think, "I failed, so I must not be good enough." Hill teaches the opposite truth. Plans fail because they are experiments, not final judgments. A failed plan is simply feedback. It tells you what didn't work, what needs adjusting, what you should strengthen, what you should remove. Every inventor, entrepreneur, musician, athlete, and achiever has a trail of failed plans behind them. From a psychological viewpoint, your brain learns faster through trial and error than through theory. Mistakes create new neural pathways, making you smarter and more resilient. Philosophically, failure is a necessary part of growth. Without the experience of what doesn't work, you cannot discover what does. This is why the most successful people are often the ones who failed the most, not because they were bad, but because they refused to stop. Practical takeaway or lesson is, do not change your dream, change your strategy. Number 6. The fear barrier is the real enemy. Fear is the invisible wall that stops more dreams than failure ever will. People are afraid to plan because planning requires commitment, visibility, and responsibility. They fear failing in public, being judged, appearing incompetent, making the wrong move. But fear is not a real obstacle. It's a psychological projection. Your mind imagines danger where none exists. Neuroscience shows that fear activates the amygdala, the emotional alarm system, even when there is no actual threat. Action, however, activates the rational brain and weakens fear. This is why action feels empowering, and inaction feels suffocating. Hill's message is timeless. You don't eliminate fear by thinking, you eliminate it by moving. Philosophically, fear is the guardian standing at the gate of your next level. If you move through it, you unlock a higher version of yourself. Practical takeaway lesson is, fear loses its power the moment you step forward. At last, number 7, your value must be presented, not assumed. Many people work hard, but wonder why opportunities don't come. Hill reveals a simple truth. People cannot reward value they cannot see. No matter how talented, skilled, or dedicated you are, if you don't communicate your value, the world will overlook you. This is not about bragging. It's about clarity. It's about saying, this is what I can do. This is how it helps. This is why it matters. Psychologically, people make judgments quickly. They respond to confidence, clarity, and communication. In the professional world, those who articulate their value get promotions, opportunities, partnerships, trust, visibility. Philosophically, expressing your value is not arrogance. It is self-respect. It is saying yes to your potential and allowing others to say yes to you. Practical takeaway lesson is, your value is real, but it becomes powerful only when shared. Revising what Hill wants to teach everyone is that desire is the beginning of every achievement, but desire alone is not enough. Think of desire as raw electricity. It carries enormous power, but unless it is guided through wires, circuits, and controls, it cannot light a bulb or run a machine. In the same way, your goals need a channel, a pathway, a system. This is where organized planning enters. It gives shape, direction, and purpose to the energy of your desire. From a psychological point of view, when your brain has only a wish, it remains in a passive dreaming state. But when you introduce structure, steps, timelines, roles, and actions, your brain shifts into what scientists call executive functioning, led by the prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain handles planning, prioritizing, creating sequences, solving problems, staying disciplined. When you make a plan, you literally rewire your brain for goal pursuit. This is why people with strong dreams but no plan feel stuck. The brain has the energy but no direction. Thus, a dream is imagination. A plan is engineering. Success requires both. Recall the mastermind group, your human supercomputer. Hill introduced the mastermind long before modern science was able to explain it. Today, neuroscience, sociology, and innovation theory all confirm one thing. A group of aligned thinkers creates more intelligence than any individual mind. When you collaborate with people who have different skills, see blind spots you can't see, challenge your assumptions, offer solutions you wouldn't think of, support you emotionally and strategically, you become exponentially stronger. This is called collective intelligence, the idea that groups produce smarter decisions than individuals. Companies like Google, Pixar, NASA, and SpaceX depend heavily on this principle. They don't rely on one genius. They rely on a network of minds working as one. Philosophically, the master mind reflects a deeper truth. Humans were never meant to achieve great dreams alone. From a spiritual perspective, when multiple minds align with shared purpose, something beyond logic emerges, a kind of unified energy that accelerates creation. Therefore, if your goal is big, you cannot reach it alone. But with the right people, you unlock an intelligence far greater than your own. And when we talk about specialized knowledge beats general knowledge, general knowledge is like a wide river that's only a few inches deep. It's broad, but not strong enough to move anything significant. Specialized knowledge is like a focused stream, narrow but powerful enough to cut through stone. Hill teaches that success requires targeted expertise, not vague awareness. The world rewards precision, not generality. In modern terms, you don't need to be a marketing expert. You need to be great at YouTube SEO or short-form video strategy. You don't need to know finance. You need to understand your business model. You don't need to be a doctor. You need to excel in a specific field like cardiology or neurology. Psychologically, specialization boosts confidence because your brain operates with clarity and focus. People respect specialists. They trust them, hire them, follow them. Today, information is everywhere. What people lack is applied expertise, the kind that solves real problems. Hence, general knowledge entertains the mind. Specialized knowledge builds empires. Let's understand this with example. A university student dreamed of creating a clothing brand. For 2 years, she doodled logos, browsed fabrics, imagined designs, but made no progress. One semester, she built a simple, organized plan. Partner with a design student, collaborate with a business major, join forces with a friend good at social media, use small batches and feedback loops. Within 6 months, the team launched their first line and sold out locally. So, the dream wasn't the problem. The lack of structure was. Now, suppose a personal trainer who tripled his income. A fitness trainer wanted to grow, but was stuck doing random workouts with random clients. He created an organized plan. Specialize in posture correction. Find a physiotherapist for expertise. Use a consistent assessment process. Build a referral network. Create an online program. In a year, his income tripled, and he became the go-to expert in his city. Therefore, specialization plus collaboration equals professional dominance. Another example is the failed startup that became a success story. 3 friends launched a meal prep business. Their first month was chaotic. Late deliveries, wrong packaging, confused customers. Instead of giving up, they rebuilt their plan. Assign clear roles. Use scheduling software. Gather customer feedback weekly. Adjust recipes. Standardize operations. Within a year, they expanded to corporate lunches. So the lesson is, the original plan failed, but the evolving plan succeeded. Desire plus planning equals the bridge between thought and reality. Hill argues that desire is only potential energy. Planning converts that potential into directed force. Modern science supports this. In neuroscience, desire activates emotional centers, but planning activates the prefrontal cortex, the only part capable of turning impulses into outcomes. Without this bridge, desires remain dreams. Desire is the engine. Planning is the steering wheel. Without both, you go nowhere. Besides, mastermind versus individual effort. Hill's mastermind concept is essentially collective intelligence, decades before science discovered it. He states that when aligned minds work together, they produce a third invisible intelligence, a type of mental synergy. Modern research shows collaboration improves problem solving. Diverse skill sets reduce blind spots. Group decision-making is statistically more accurate than individuals. The individual can dream, but the group can build. Number 3. Specialized knowledge versus general knowledge. Hill insists that general knowledge is nearly useless without application. Specialized knowledge, applied to a definite purpose, increases power. Psychology confirms that. Expertise creates confidence. Specific skill mastery increases motivation. Focused knowledge makes you valuable. Modern business echoes this. Niches outperform generalists. Specialists earn more. Experts gain faster trust. General knowledge helps you talk. Specialized knowledge helps you achieve. 4. Leadership is earned, not declared. Already expanded earlier, now analyzed and compared. Hill highlights leadership qualities that modern leadership psychology also confirms. Courage, poise, decisiveness, integrity, empathy, competence. These traits predict long-term influence far more than authority or position. Modern research calls this earned leadership, influence gained through character, not title. True leadership is not status. It is the ability to inspire others to walk with you. Hill separates identity from outcome. A failed plan does not mean a failed person. Psychologically, this is growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be improved through effort, strategy, and feedback. Business science calls this iteration, refining strategy until results appear. Failure is not the end, it is information. Hill explains that fear is often the only real obstacle. Science agrees. Fear activates the amygdala, freezing decision-making. Action reduces fear. Inaction expands it. Business psychology shows that people who act despite fear outperform people who wait for confidence. Fear is a shadow. It disappears when you walk toward the light. Now you know the secret that separates dreamers from achievers. Desire alone is not enough. Knowledge alone is powerless. Leadership alone is meaningless without action. But when desire is fused with organized planning, when courage guides action, when the right people join you, and when every plan is refined and tested, your dreams begin to take shape in the real world. The bridge from imagination to reality is built with deliberate steps, relentless persistence, and fearless action. Ask yourself, are you ready to stop wishing and start building? Are you ready to take your ideas off the page and give them life, structure, and unstoppable momentum? Your mastermind, your plan, your courage, all are waiting. The question is, will you step forward and claim the life your mind has already imagined? You've seen how desire becomes power when guided by a clear plan. You've discovered the strength of a mastermind, the precision of specialized knowledge, and the courage of true leadership. You've learned that failure is feedback, fear is only a shadow, and expressing your value can open doors to limitless opportunity. Now it's your turn. Take these lessons, build your plan, gather your allies, and step forward with courage. Every small action you take is a stone on the path toward your dreams. Remember, success is not a distant destination. It is the journey of disciplined action, fearless adaptation, and relentless belief in yourself. Until next time, continue to listen, learn, and awaken the power within, here at Audioverse Listening Library.